What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about how the Winnipeg Jets can beat the Colorado Avalanche going forward here. I think there's a lot of, little tweaks that the Jets can do. They've already made one in the lineup. We're going to be talking about that in a minute, but going into Game 3, I see it as the Jets have to win either one of Game 3 or Game 4. If they lose both of those in Colorado, you can pretty much wrap this up. I don't see the Jets winning, 3 straight against Colorado, and I don't see, Colorado winning 3 straight against Winnipeg, right? So that's just kind of where I'm at. Two very tough teams, and they've been going at it. This has been a really fun series, and I think a pretty evenly matched series, to be totally honest with you. Game 1, very weird, high-scoring game, kind of an outlier for both teams. Game 2 was really good for the Jets, I think, for the first half, and then Colorado took over in the second, and, tied up the series. Now, going into Game 3, stuff does change a little bit, because now the Jets are headed to Colorado, and they don't have control over the, line matchups. Home team has the last change, so you probably won't see as much Adam Lowry line versus the Nathan MacKinnon line, and truthfully, I think the Lowry line has done a great job of wasting Nathan MacKinnon's time out there, keeping them in their own end, and when they do get pressure, everything's kind of kept to the outside. MacKinnon's been pretty quiet so far this series. That could change in Game 3. It could open it up, because he's going to be probably up against the Mark Scheifele line with Kyle Connor and Gabe Vilardi. Maybe not the most sound defensive line ever, right? So that's probably the matchup that I would imagine the Avalanche are going to try to exploit. So it's going to be, top line versus top line, and that opens up the middle six a little bit for Winnipeg. I think they have better matchups. I'm not really too scared of, a second line of Casey Middlestad, Lehkonen, and Parise shutting down Nick Ehlers, Sean Monahan, and Tyler Toffoli. And the bottom six, they're tough, they're grindy, but, shift after shift after shift, trying to slow down Nick Ehlers and Sean Monahan, Toffoli, I just don't think they can. I really don't, and I think that's going to open it up for that middle six big time, especially the second line, as I had mentioned. The third line, I think you'll see a lot more cycling, a lot more, banging and crashing. I think they'll get some more ozone time. They've been great defensively against the MacKinnon line so far this series, but I do think that, we could use some offense from Nito Niederreiter. Be cool if we got a fun one from Mason Appleton. The fourth line's been chipping in. Nemestikov and Gustafsson, of course, have been, a goal apiece here so far in the playoffs, so they've been chipping in pretty well. But the middle six needs to get going offensively, and I think that this is a big opportunity. I think it's an opportunity as well to get back to structures. We've kind of seen the Jets fall out of it a little bit, get kind of scrambly at times, and maybe, overthinking some stuff. Moving the puck has been a problem on the back end. I've said, before that maybe Logan Stanley isn't the best defenseman for this series, and it appears that Nate Schmidt is coming in for Game 3. That's something I wanted to see. That's something they're doing, and I'm excited for that change. I think that could go a long way. Schmidt, a much better puck mover than Logan Stanley. I know Stanley's big, tough, physical, something you want in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, he's an awful rush defender as well against one of the best rush teams in the NHL in the Colorado Avalanche. That's something I also talked about in my video prior. And, with Nate Schmidt, I think he's a guy that defends fine off the rush. Not an elite defender or anything, but just a better option in this, scenario. So Schmidt comes in for Stanley, and one thing that allows the Jets to do is put Dylan Samberg back on his proper side, on the left-hand side. He was playing on the right with Logan Stanley, and he looked okay. But, when you play your offside, when you're not used to that, sometimes you have some, brain lapses, and we've seen that a little bit from Samberg, maybe not moving the puck as quickly as he could because he's thinking about something maybe half a second late, right? So I think with him on his proper side, with Nate Schmidt, a pairing that's worked really well this season, I think that he's going to thrive, and I think that we're going to see, that pretty decent puck-moving defenseman Dylan Samberg come back instead of the shaky, scared defenseman we've kind of seen through the first couple of games. I'm a big fan of Samberg, and I think that he's going to have a pretty good rest of the series here now that he's on his proper side, and I think that's a big boost, a very underrated boost to Winnipeg. And going back to what I was talking about with the line changes, I think that Rick Bowness, without the control of line matching, might make the game easier on the Jets, because I love Rick Bowness and everything like that, but he loves to micromanage a lot during games, whether that's line changes. We saw that a lot in the regular season. We saw, all kinds of lines down the stretch there. Felt like we had different lines every single period at times. And then, you know, of course, the line matching. I feel like he tries to do a lot, and I feel like maybe just letting things ride may be better off, right? Line matching is important, obviously. You don't want to get exposed or anything like that, but without the control, I wonder if this is actually a plus for Winnipeg. You know, instead of trying to, you know, overthink everything and, you know, trying to make everything so to the point strategic, maybe Bones can just take a step back, see what you got, right? You're not in control of the line matchups, and if you need to make a tweak with the lines, you can go ahead and do that. If Colorado comes out really strong and you're like, oh shit, we need to make a line change, then, you know, maybe this is the time to do it here in Game 3. I haven't really had a problem with any line in particular with the forward core, but all 4 lines need to get going and they need to be better. So we'll see what comes out of Game 3, but I think that without control of the line changes, as I stated before, it may actually end up being a plus for Winnipeg. These are just my thoughts though, and you know, this doesn't just go for Game 3, it goes for Game 4 as well. But heading into the future of this series, like, I don't know, let's just think this is going to go the distance, right? This is probably going to go 6 or 7 games. I know I said in 5, that was pretty hopeful. But it's probably going to go 6 or 7. The Jets need to use their depth. This is something that they have on Colorado. Colorado's depth is not as good as Winnipeg's. If they're able to roll 4 lines consistently and have at least decent play, you know, from all 4, I think they're in a really good spot. I really like the depth on this team. I talked about it before. I said that is the Jets' biggest strength against Colorado is their depth. You know, they may have the star power on Winnipeg. They have a lot of future Hall of Famers on that team. But Winnipeg has the depth. They have better 4-line system than Colorado does. So if they're able to hold off the McKinnon line, which they have done so far in this series, they can do it, but they have to play better than they have been. But I'm really not too worried about the Jets. I think that the way they've played so far has been fine. It just needs to be better. And, you know, if they can hit another gear here in Colorado, come out hungry, I think the Colorado's in big trouble. But that's just my thoughts, guys. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about the Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets so far in this series? Who do you think is going to win? Currently tied at 2. It's now a best of 5 series, first 3 wins, and I don't know, guys, it's been a ton of fun so far. One thing I want to say here quick before I go was my birthday yesterday. I'm 23 years old now. Ton of fun here on the channel so far. You know, I think it's been, I think a year and a half, 2 years now. I don't even know how long it's been since being on YouTube, but you know, the community, the platform that I have right now, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy YouTube. Last year, I was at the point of, you know, breaking. That was such an annoying year. I was so burnt out from making YouTube videos, from just watching the Jets in general. I was so frustrated with the organization, and now to be, you know, where I am, you know, just even from a year ago, just a lot more happy on YouTube and a lot more, you know, solidified, I guess. I don't know really the word for it, but I'm just in a better place YouTube wise, mentally, and you know, 23's been an incredible year. 2024 has been definitely my year, and I've got you guys to thank for that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.